Good morning, afternoon, and evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another episode of the Fit4Lyfe Lifestyle Podcast. I am Anthony Changes, and today I am joined by Sandy Tachi, who's got a special announcement, apparently.
Correct, because you are not the host today. I am the hostess with the mostest.
You go, girl.
And I am joined today by the raddest and the baddest, the coolest and the smoothest. Wait. The highlight of our Instagram stories. The one you love to laugh at, to work out with, and to get blinded by the highlights. The angry ranter himself, Anthony Changes. Did you like it?
I fucking love it. That's great.
Sorry. I had to read it because it was just way too long. There was no way I was going to memorize that. I tried.
That was great. That was great. The coolest and the smoothest.
The coolest and the smoothest.
Watch out. Hey, you guys got to watch out. Now I'm coming to class every day with my head held high.
Good for you. You should.
Oh, well, yeah. I got the best intro ever.
Right? All right. So we're here today to talk about
420.
Exactly. That's and you.
Oh,
so
snap.
tell us, who are you with your 4, 5, 6, 7 different names, acting like P. Diddy up in here with all these crazy. Which name are you? What's going on?
Well, first of all, I'd like to say that I am confused. Second of all, I am Anthony Changes. I am Sir Changes. I am Anthony Philip Chinea if you are family, and most of you are not. So I won't be giving out the government name any longer. But yeah, today I'm just Ant.
Nice. And gut Muscle CEO also.
Oh yeah, I can't forget I'm Gut Muscle CEO.
Is there any other hidden names we need to know about?
I was Tony Gotcha at one point. That was a long time ago. Actually, that's my Xbox gamer tag. If you want to add me, that's cool. I'm barely on it, but I don't think there's any more. I think that's it. AKA. Stop. BKA.
The baddest and the raddest.
Yeah, that's the coolest and the smoothest. Like, watch out. Sandy was out here kicking rhymes, y'all. Y'all understand? She had bars there for a second. Like,
right?
Sandy's gonna take my job as a rapper.
Better watch out. Listen, we're hanging out way too much now. So this is what happens.
I love it. We are on episode 10. This is the 10th week in a row.
That's crazy. Okay, so it's the 10th week.
Mm-hmm.
It's our 10-year anniversary on Facebook. What the hell's going on? Universe is working in our favor.
I dig it.
So cool. So tell us a little. So who are you exactly? Give us some backstory.
Where
are you from? You're from here.
Born and raised down here until Hurricane Andrew hit in '92, and then we moved up. Well, we lived in Homestead when Hurricane Andrew hit, and then family moved us up to Pembroke Pines. Cooper City, Davie. It's like right there on that little cusp of Hollywood.
At that time, I think it was all the same.
I mean,
because people were like, we were like, I live in Cooper City, and people were like, where? I'm like, Pembroke Pines. They're like, oh, I know.
Oh, yeah.
I know
like,
it is.
This was back when like Douglas Road didn't even cross over to Pine Island. It was all cows and like.
Yeah, there was none of that. No
people
houses.
used to selling watermelon, oranges, and shrimp on that corner. But yeah, we moved up here in '92. So I've been down here ever since. I did have a little stint out in Fort Myers for like maybe a month or so, and then came back out here. I've had multiple jobs, which sounds bad. It was like, like I can't keep a job, but like it's always been like I'll work here for a couple of years, and then I'll go try something new, and then I'll come back to this job, and then I'll go back to this job, and then I'll go try something new, and then it's always like 2 years here, 2 years here, 2 years here, and then try something new, and then
right.
It's like.
It's kind of like
progressive,
relationships.
Oh no, you never go back. I made that mistake before. Now I'm trying to find money, not love.
Yes, do it right. Do it right.
Right. Shout out to the best advice.
Right. So what do you do for work now?
Okay, so as of right now, I'm currently in airfield security at Miami International Airport. That's what pays the bills right now.
Nice.
Yeah. So imagine me securing the airfield.
I've seen some of your stories, and all I see is Sock Saturday. Is that what it is?
Sock Check Saturday. Yeah.
So that's all I see.
Yeah. So I actually started that at the airport. I probably shouldn't have done it, but I did. And it was just I started this thing called Tell the Truth Friday.
I remember that. Yeah. I remember listening to your. Is it YouTube? Was it on YouTube?
It was. I did. I think. Yeah. I did do it on YouTube.
I remember.
Yeah.
I used to listen. This was before we reconnected, I guess you can say, and I used to see it on YouTube. I'm like, look at this kid.
Just telling the truth wildly, freely. Like that all like. Tell the Truth Friday happened, and that kind of sparked Sock Check Saturday after the first week. And Sock Check Saturday was because the first Friday that I did Tell the Truth Friday, I didn't wear I wore short socks, low cut socks with new high top boots that I picked up for the job, and my ankles got rubbed raw. So I was like, okay, make sure we do a sock check Saturday. Make sure I got the long sleeve or the long socks on, so my ankles don't get rubbed away. And that spawned sock check Saturday, and it kind of boosted morale at the job because everybody got to wear funky socks. But again, that's going against uniform policy. So
yeah, right. So
don't do that.
Don't do that ever again.
Right. So for the record, I only wear solid black socks to work.
Exactly. That's all I've ever seen.
Right.
So don't worry, you are good there. So tell me a little bit, but that's not what you went to school for. Like what is your dream? What is your dream job? Or is this what you see yourself, like I want to do this?
Man, that's
Or maybe you want to be a fitness trainer, coach here at Fit4Lyfe. I don't know.
Oh snap! Okay, so like we can't. Man, I got hella options. Like I did say I was looking for love. I mean, looking for money, not love. So maybe. Maybe this might be
a lot of caffeine in this coffee we got going on.
Well, I think Starbucks might have jinxed us and put a.
They did. The kid did tell me. He's like, "Oh, you got an extra shot." And I was like, "Oh, well, whose drink is it? Because it might not be mine."
Right.
And he's like, "Oh, it's this one." I'm like, "Oh, that's mine, extra shot." And then he gave you an extra shot. So I was like,
"Right,
jackpot."
Blessings on blessings on blessings. Like shout out to that guy.
Our anniversary today.
Yeah, they were like, "Hey, y'all need to get doped up for 420, but just on caffeine, right? Just on coffee." So to be honest, as far as what my dream job would be, I have to be able to create in order to really be happy. Like that's something that I've always understood, is that I need to physically create something. I need to take something that I have up here and manifest it out into this world in order for me to be happy. Like I can have a regular job, I can clock in, show up to work on time and do all of that, but unless I'm physically creating content, be it videos, music, painting, writing, drawing, constructing things, like I'm not going to be happy. So like that's a really broad example of what my ideal job would be. You're an
artist.
Very much so.
And all around artist. I mean, that's kind of like my older son. He's like that. He is just a creator of all things. That's what he wants to do. So
jack of all trades, master of none, baby. I wear that proudly.
Yeah, so you are the artist here at Fit4Lyfe. Right?
Try to be a little comedic, like being a comedian is just part of my DNA with my family, so like I've always been kind of a extrovert. I mean, I've never been like introverted. I've always been, the center of attention, not in like a cocky way or like a look at me, give me all the attention, but
in
it was
a fun
always,
way.
Yeah. And I think that kind of might tie into like self-esteem issues. I mean, it was like, if I can get people to laugh with me, at least they're not laughing at me.
That's true.
I'm not the butt of the jokes. So even if I have to make myself the butt of the jokes, at least I'm the one telling them, and they're laughing, because I made them laugh, because I chose to. So I don't know.
I could see that.
Yeah,
I understand. I get it. So talking back about that, it is our 10-year anniversary.
On Facebook. In reality,
let's answer the question that everybody has been asking us and, pushing us up against the wall. Like, how do you guys know each other? Like,
okay, I spilled the beans once. And after that, I was like, never again.
Right. So we have actually known each other because, I did the math because, I love math for like 23 years, somewhere around there, if I was to guess.
Known each other longer than we haven't.
Right? Isn't that crazy? And then when I think about it, I'm like, man, like I remember, it's crazy because obviously when you get old, I feel like I've never aged, and I feel like I've known you since you were like a kid, and
I was.
Right, that's true. And I'm like, wow, like it's just crazy. So tell us, you can tell.
I can tell.
You can tell how we know each other.
So I got this older brother, right? Sandy used to like him. That's all I'm gonna say. Now you guys dated back in high school.
Yeah.
So Sandy was dating my brother back in high school, and that's how her and I met. I was in 7th or 8th grade, I believe.
Yeah.
You guys started in what, 97-ish?
I was 15, turning 16. I remember those years. Yeah, 15, turning 16. So, because we're only how old are you?
I'll be 36.
Yeah, so we're 2 years, 2 years apart, just over the 2 years. So yeah, so I was 15, turning 16, and your brother and I met at Stranahan.
Yeah.
And I remember your brother. Actually, I don't even know if we met like at the school for was like an outside party that we met, which is probably, the chances are probably higher there. And I remember your brother just being this crazy, like, woo! Like,
Tasmanian devil?
Yes.
Yeah, that's him. That's
Yeah, like crazy. And played football. And so, and of course, you know, in high school, that's cool, you know? So that's how, you know, we met. And then I met you. And I remember you always being like the little brother, like I never had, you know? And it's crazy because, like I said, like I felt, I don't know why, like even though it was only 2 years, I felt like there was such a gap in that age. Maybe it's because it was middle school, high school, you know, type of thing. So it's like a gap. But I remember you just being like my little brother.
Yeah, I mean that's how I felt, and I took every chance I could to portray that little brother role. Like specifically, I remember when you guys went to the movies to go see.
Shit, I remember this.
To go see, it was either Scream or Scream 2, and I had the Scream outfit from the year before in Halloween, and I remember my parents said that I couldn't go watch the movie with you guys. And I was butthurt, but I was like, you know, it's only my favorite horror movie. It's fine. You guys came home, or came to my home. Like you guys came back to my parents' house, and I had put the Scream outfit on, and you had walked into the kitchen.
The kitchen. I remember. I can remember it, like vividly remember it.
Yep. And you were standing by the sink.
I think I turned around. You damn near killed me. Oh my gosh.
Had the whole outfit on. Yeah, just finished watching that movie. Yeah.
That's basically what it looked like. I do not do well, even to this day. Horror films, even Jason does, when like The Exorcist came out, Exorcism of Emily Rose or whatever came out, he used to try to like scare me, and he would lay on the floor all like like in weird yes, and I'm like, don't do that. Right. Like, yeah, I don't do well.
I love scary movies, and that's probably why I am the way I am.
Could be.
Yeah, and you know, so that's how I know you. And then when I came to Fit4Lyfe, and I went out to breakfast with this crazy concoction of people that I had never met before, and I remember like that's usually like when I'm most introverted. It's like I'm around a whole bunch of people I don't know, and these are all Sandy's people, and I can't be me because Sandy's not here. And they're like, so how do you know Sandy? And I'm like, oh, shit. She was like, she used to date my brother in high school. And I was like, fuck. And like, as soon as I said it, I was like, I got to text Sandy, listen, things happened. They pressured me. Coach Espy told me she was code enforcement. I heard law enforcement. I looked at Larry, who said he was a lawyer looking for representation. I didn't get it. I spilled the beans. I volunteered this information. I apologize.
Yeah.
And she was like, it's cool. I'm an open book. And I was like, oh, thank God. Oh, I dodged a bullet.
Listen, these are our people. They're all open books. Yeah. But it's all good. I mean, you know, it's like, it's pretty cool because I think we reconnected, I don't even know, a couple years ago. Right?
I mean, I've always like reached out here and there.
Right. And I think we've always followed along. Like I said, I've always followed when you were doing your whole recording and stuff like that. And I used to listen to all your stuff on, and I remember when I was, I don't remember if it was 2015 or 16 or 17, I don't know. And I would listen to your stuff while I was like on the treadmill, and I would listen to your stuff and see it. I'm like, that's so cool. You know,
look
it's
at
cool.
him.
I know, look at him, my little baby brother. So that's kind of cool. So fill in the gap of like those years. You know, obviously we've known each other for so long. Give us some like, I don't know, some history, health history, you know, things like that. Fill in the gap.
I would watch you on Facebook, like just doing the Fit4Lyfe stuff, even like the Beachbody stuff, and I was like, man, like I want to do it, but like I don't think that I'm ready for it. You know, like I see the stuff that you guys were doing, and I was like, I don't know if I can handle. Like, I can't, physically, my body is not capable of doing that stuff yet, and I don't want to go and be made a fool of, or you know, go and injure myself for any number of, you know, different excuses I can come up with. So I was like, I always stayed in the shadows. And then after I was teaching for a couple of years, and there was a guy, Mr. Williams, who was real fitness oriented, and he ended up doing like some kind of HIIT classes after school for us, and that was my first introduction to it. And then he had a couple of teachers, you know, come in and work out with him, and it was awesome. So that was my first introduction to it, and I was like, I can dig this. Like, you know, I'm only spending a minute at this station, and you know, it sucks, but it's only for a minute. Like that's perfect. Like, and then sprint to the next station and do that for a minute. It sucks, but then I'm on to the next thing. You know, things are constantly changing. AKA Anthony changes. You know what I mean? Like, I love it. So that was my first foray into that. But even, I guess to kind of go back before that, in 2012, I was bartending and I was diagnosed with diverticulosis, which is the presence of pockets in the lining of the large intestine that get inflamed and cause severe pain, like ridiculous amounts of pain. And
what is that? Do you know what it's caused from? Is it just...
I don't know if it's like a genetic thing, but it's something that usually people experience when they get into their late 60s, 70s, 80s.
Oh, wow.
So I was really young. I was like 26 or 27 when I was diagnosed. And I remember the first time I went to the hospital, they're like, man, it's just gas. I'm like, bro, doc, listen, I know you went to school for this and you took on a lot of debt to tell me that, but I need you to understand that I've been farting my whole life. Like... what I'm feeling right now is not gas, big dog. I'm telling you. And like I was like, I'm not settling for that as an answer. Yeah. So he was like, okay, fine. You don't have insurance, but we're gonna do the MRI with contrast. They had me drink it. It's gross. Yeah,
I've done that before. I've done all that before.
Mm-hmm. So I did it, and sure enough, they're like, well, you've got diverticulitis because these pockets are inflamed and there's a lot of them, and someone your age shouldn't happen.
It's a lot of gas.
Yeah, I was like, oh yeah. I should have let one go right then and there. But he told me, like, it's your diet, you're overweight, you smoke, a list of things that I'm well aware of. I'm like, okay, cool. Like, that's all shit that I've spent years doing to myself. Like, I know I got to stop that. What can I do about this pain right now?
Yeah.
And he was like, here's some pain meds, some antibiotics, and be on a liquid diet for 3 days. He's like, you should be fine. Stay away from things that can't be digested. Stay away from corn and stay away from strawberries and peanuts and all this list of stuff. And I'm like,
it's a whole lot of stuff to drop on you in one visit.
Right. So then and then they said, and they go see a gastroenterologist. So I go see the gastro, and the gastro was like, yeah, like there's no proof that is actually what causes pain. So you don't have to eliminate that kind of stuff. So I'm like, but you said, and then now you're saying, so when I would eliminate the stuff, I wouldn't get any pain. But when I went back to eating peanuts and popcorn and stuff like that,
you get
pain immediately. So I'm like, I'm going to listen to this, doc.
Right.
So yeah,
that's not the gastro doctor.
Right. The one that told me it was just gas. Like, I didn't want to believe him, but I'm gonna listen to him on this one. So yeah, I knew that I had to get my diet under control, but I also think that a lot of what happened with my gut was related to what was going on with my brain. You know what I mean? So it was like, I feel like since the brain is like the central processing unit of your entire body, if that's not right, all the other systems in your body are going to be haywire or, just working hot, to keep you going. Right. And, even from back when I was a kid, like the biggest part of my mental health struggles was my sexuality. So knowing like, I'm a little bit different than everybody else. Like, yes, like everybody's saying that, the princess is who I should be going for, but like, but look at Luigi though. Like,
I know. You looking kind of cool over there.
Right, I'll be Mario, big dog. That's brothers. That's kind of weird. Never mind. Disregard that. But so like knowing that like the sexuality thing was one thing. That was a big heavy stressor. But on top of that, having this artistic side. So being a songwriter at that same time, I was writing songs for an artist in Australia. So hip hop and homophobia go hand in hand. So it was like, what? A gay rapper, they weren't ready for that at that time. So I felt like I had to choose one or the other. Here it is, that music that makes me super happy.
Right.
But then like, here's who I am underneath, it's like, damn, but like, so I chose the hip hop route and said, okay, I'm going to suppress all these feelings and act like this isn't an issue, which led to building pressure. Because now it's like, okay, like I know I'm trying to suppress these feelings, but at the same time, I'm trying to relieve that pressure by like doing it secretively and then trying to do everything I could to cover up my tracks. Like, okay, nobody can know about this and I got to hide that. And before I knew it, I was stressing myself out a lot.
And sick.
Yeah, sick.
That's crazy. So then what developed from that? Because I can't even say that word.
Diverticulitis.
Diverticulitis. Got it. So what developed from that? Because I don't know much about. I mean, I've suffered from a lot of like gut issues, a lot of stomach issues, a lot of gut issues growing up. Actually, my first experience with it was when I was like 12 or 13. I had this whole like stomach gut thing going on. And I would always get like these stomach aches. My parents were like, it's gas. Everything's gas.
Right.
Everything's gas.
If it's in the belly, just fart. You'll feel better.
Yeah. Or lay on one side, drink some water. You're just dehydrated, drink some water. So I always had these like gut issues, and sure enough, I had to get an endoscopy done, and I had bacteria in my esophagus, and they're like, you get it from like drinking out of water fountains or drinking, just water, like unfiltered water, or eating like cake batter. I'm like, well, I am like 12, and I do like to make cakes and do cookie dough and all that stuff. Yeah,
all in the bowl.
And I'm like, but I'm not eating like raw eggs, like raw meat and stuff like that. Anyways, I had bacteria in my esophagus. I had to take antibiotics. It went away. I was good to go. But then over the years, it was like into high school and stuff like that. It developed into other issues, and a lot of it was, stress related, things like that. But I was fortunate. I never really developed into anything, but changing my diet, my exercise regimen, my sleep patterns, drinking a lot of water, all those things contributed to now me like feeling better, having probiotics, prebiotics, all that sort of stuff.
Antibiotics.
To levelize, right? You take antibiotics, make sure you take your probiotics too at the same time, or eat lots of yogurt.
Do they have postbiotics? Because they got pre, they got anti, and then they got pro. I'm just wondering.
They probably do.
Probably.
Or an all-in-one. 3-in-1, like the shampoo, 3-in-1 body wash,
degreaser, like
whatever. It's all the same.
Right.
So, but yeah, all that stuff, and then it just develops into major, intestinal issues, which that then creates a whole mess in your body, because illness grows in your gut. So if your gut is unhealthy, then the rest of your body really is unhealthy.
Right.
And then your mind's not right and things like that. So what did anything develop from that, or what?
A few things. So they told me, you're way too young for this to be happening to you. You have to fix this, otherwise you're gonna have a shit quality of life, pretty much. All right, cool. Like I got marketplace health insurance, so like let's hope that this doesn't happen again. And also like I'm bartending, so I'm hanging out with friends till all hours of the night, drinking a lot more than I should, which leads me to smoke even more than I probably should at all. Eat shitty food, working at a restaurant where the food is in surplus pretty much. I just wasn't setting myself up for success. So I would get these attacks every 3 to 6 months. And it got to a point where it became routine. It was like, all right, I'm not even going to go to the hospital for this one, because I know I just got to sit at home 3 days of a clear liquid diet, and then rest, not doing anything, don't lift anything heavy, anything like that. And then after a certain point, I was like, I gotta do something.
Yep.
But since I didn't have insurance, and the gastro recommended me having surgery to correct it, because I was constantly getting these episodes. Right. They were like, without insurance,
there's not much
Right. There's not much you can do. So I went and I ended up getting the job that I have now. And once I got the insurance, I was like, all right, I'm ready. And matter of fact, my 2-year anniversary for surgery was April 17th, so 3 days ago.
That's crazy. Congratulations.
Thank you. So I'll show pictures of my wicked, awesome, like I got a whole C-section scar.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy. It was wicked. And so that was elective surgery?
Yes.
It wasn't like an emergency surgery?
No.
Okay.
But
I guess it was kinda.
It was elected, but even when I went for the consultation, the surgeon looked at my records and he was like, man, I would have done this surgery for you. Okay, so let me backtrack before I get to that point. The gastro was like, lose 50 pounds and that'll make recovery a lot easier for you, because I was 3 and change. It's like, you lose 50 pounds, you should be good to go. And then I lost like 35 or 40 pounds. And that's when I was like, okay, I'm close enough to my goal. Let me at least get the consultation and see what he says. And that's when I talked to the surgeon. The surgeon was like, bro, I would have done this at your starting weight plus 50 pounds, because you're having these attacks so often, and there's so many of these pockets in a concentrated area, you run the risk of one bursting. Sure enough, when I go in to have surgery, they find an abscess because one had burst.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so thankfully, like it kind of enclosed itself, and I didn't poison myself to death. But he said there was an abscess that they had to remove, and that he said it looked like shredded, like the actual intestine itself.
Oh my gosh.
He said it was in really bad shape.
Wow, that's crazy.
So, you take into consideration having a terrible diet that's not very high in fiber, constantly struggling to go to the restroom, and then with these bulging, pockets in the walls of my large intestine, I'm setting myself up for failure. So finally get the surgery, and I was at my lowest adult weight at that point. I was like, here we are, 255, I look good. Have my surgery, and this was in 2019 I had my surgery in April 17th. So from April to December, I gained all the weight I lost, and then more on top of that.
Wow. From just poor diet, or
yeah, just from thinking, okay, like I had the surgery, everything right, I can go back to eating my Big Macs that have these sesame seeds on top, you know, because I was like, oh, I can't have Big Macs anymore because they've got the sesame seeds, you know, I can't have, you know, I gotta have a seedless bun if I'm gonna have a burger. So it's like I was avoiding all those foods just to have the surgery.
Right.
Got the surgery and immediately fell back into those habits.
Yeah.
So in December of 2019, that's when I was like, Sandy, I'm ready. Like,
that's crazy.
Yep.
Yeah, because I remember that time. I remember that all, you know, that all happening. Now with like the weight and stuff, like I know you've told us in previous podcasts that it's always been, you know, something that you've struggled with and battled. Is it something just from, you know, poor eating habits, like as a kid into, you know, or what would you say really is really, because you said your mom's super thin.
Yeah.
You know, and your dad, I know your dad's super tall.
Yeah.
And you have siblings that, you know, one's super thin, they're both athletic, you know. So what do you think is like the stem of that?
I think the start of it's definitely diet, because I don't have a problem working out. I did as a kid. As a kid, I was like, sweat? Absolutely not.
And then your mom's like, not my baby.
Right, not my baby. He gonna sit inside and he gonna color, and he, you know, he's gonna build. He's gonna play with his Legos, and he's gonna be happy in here. You know what I mean? And then, like, you know, I would fight with my brothers when like they would either be mean to me or they were too competitive, and I didn't like it. So I was like, no, we won't keep baby right here. But it was definitely diet. Not that what I ate at the house was bad. But there was really no control for me once I was old enough to go and buy my own food. You know, so once I started working, you know, my first job was Dairy Queen. Yeah. First mistake.
Oh, man.
Yes.
Good stuff.
Oh yeah, I was like, oh my, it was like, what? So like, if I make the wrong thing for the customer, I can eat it at the end of the shift.
Okay.
I'm fucking everybody's shit up. Like, I'm making exactly what I want. Like, oh, you didn't want these Reese's peanut butter cups on?
Oh, sorry.
Oh, all right. Let me save this one for later. Second job, working as a busboy at Red Lobster. Cheddar Bay biscuits.
Oh my gosh.
What?
I remember those. I haven't had those in years. I avoided it at all.
I ate enough in that 3 months that I worked there for the years that you haven't had any.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
You know, so I think it was just food made me feel good, you know, and like it does for a lot of people. So it was like, I would eat even though I wasn't hungry. Yeah. You know, it was like I would eat just because I didn't like who I was. Right. Subconsciously, even if it wasn't like I don't like the fact I'm gonna eat, you know.
Yeah.
It was just like food.
You're battling
just
other
comfort.
Things that
So there wasn't like a direct connection between like, I don't like the fact that I'm gay, so I'm gonna eat 3 cheeseburgers. Right. You know, there wasn't like a direct connection between that, but one definitely had an effect on the other.
Right.
And I think that as time went on, I just accommodated those habits, you know? So it was like, instead of working to change them, it was just like, well, let me structure my life around what I like to do, which is eat and stay up late. You know, it was like, fuck it. If I'm tired from sleeping in or from partying too hard one night, I'll just get a Red Bull on the way to work. You know, we talked about that in a previous episode. Yeah. But I never really had a problem with working out as an adult. You know, I started getting into that. Actually, there's a funny story with Retrofit, which when it was Club Fit.
Yes.
Right. So this was like 2005, 2006, somewhere around that time. And I remember I had a membership there, and I was sitting on the couch at home, and I was like, man, it's a beautiful day. It's hot as shit outside, but I know I need to go work out. So I jumped in my Honda Civic, and like between where I live and where that gym is at, 10 minutes max to get there. Yeah. In that 10 minutes, torrential downpour, right? So I pull into the parking lot, and like, I don't know if you've ever been in that parking lot, but when it rains, that whole parking lot gets like a soup bowl. So I'm sitting in the car, and it's like still raining. I'm like, I'm not gonna get out and get soaked and wet. Yeah. You know, so like 20 minutes goes by and it's still raining. I was like, you know what? Like, it's just a little fucking rain. Like, who cares? So I open the door and like immediately step into ankle deep water. I'm like, oh shit! I got my Nike Shocks on. They're laced tight. I got my workout gear on. I'm ready to go. So I start taking off across the parking lot, and I'm sprinting as fast as my little chubby little legs would take me, you know, and it's like splashing through the lake water that I'm treading through, and I get to the little handicap brand that has like the little yellow dots on it. It's supposed to be slip proof, right? It's supposed to help you keep you from slipping, right? Now, mind you, the gym is packed at this point. This is like 2:00 in the afternoon on a Saturday, so like and the front glass windows,
it's all glass,
all glass, but on the other side of that glass, all treadmills.
Lined
so
up.
These people are on the treadmill just cheering me on. They're like, yeah, look at Fat Boy run across that parking lot. Like, look at his commitment and dedication. This boy is committed. You know what I mean? They're cheering me on. As soon as my foot hits that yellow pavement, slides right out from underneath it. And I'm like, oh shit. 300 plus pounds is about to go down.
My
right.
gosh.
First leg slips. Second leg follows it. I'm like, oh shit. And I can see the people's look on the treadmill like, they're like, oh, he grab the phone, call 911. I start sliding. I'm like, oh fuck, and I slide all the way up against to the window, right? So now I'm like, oh shit, people are cracking up laughing. They're on the treadmill trying not to fall, dying laughing. I'm like, oh fuck. I'm soaking wet because I just did an OCR race.
You just did your cardio workout.
Right. 20 yards max, and then I'm soaking wet, and I just slid, and like I'm looking at my leg, I'm like, oh, I'm fucking bleeding. Like this is bad.
Oh my god.
So now I have a choice to make. Like,
oh my god.
Do I take the walk of shame back to the car, or do I go inside and continue to work out? I went with option B. I went inside, but I didn't work out. I was like, yeah, I can't let these people see me do all of this and then just turn around and walk away. Like I couldn't. I would have to cancel my membership. Like I'm never coming back. So I go inside, I go to the bathroom, and I fucking wipe my leg and flip my shirt inside out and try and turn my hat backwards and put glasses on, try to disguise myself on the way out. And I say, I'm fucking gone. I'm never doing this again. Like clearly, God
clearly
does not
someone
want me to work
did not
out.
want me to come to this gym.
Right.
Did not want me to work out.
I was so committed to you. Would have been so proud of me, but then.
Damn.
Yep.
That's crazy. What a story. I'm surprised I've never heard that one.
No, never.
You saved it for today.
Yeah, I saved it. That
was a good one. Mm. I could see. Oh my gosh.
Slipped and bust my ass. That shit was funny. Like it was funny, but
it was funny, I'm sure, but you know, it sucks.
It was tragic. It was tragic. I was like, man, this is why I don't do this kind of shit.
We ain't never doing this again.
I'm stopping by McDonald's on the way home. McDonald's is right across the street too.
I know it is because I've been to that one.
Yep.
So tell me a little bit about when, like, the biggest shift in your overall fitness. I know you said that if working out and stuff was never like an issue, but when was like the biggest shift? Was it when you came here, or was it like previous? Or
1000%. Like I saw my. Okay, I would say it started in 2019 when I was trying to lose weight to have the surgery. Right. That's when I got serious about like, okay, I can change my diet. Let me have my salads and healthier snacks and drink a lot more water. Stop taking the elevators and the escalators. So I started taking the stairs as often as I could, parking my car as far away from the entrance as possible. But that really wasn't fitness. That was just healthier.
Making changes.
Yeah.
Making small changes. Yeah, there we go.
It's just healthier habits. But it wasn't until I started here that I really started to see results and really started to enjoy working out. Because before, like, I did the HIIT classes with Mr. Williams at the school, and that was fun, but it wasn't regular enough, and he ended up having a kid and moving and whatnot, so he couldn't do that anymore. But it wasn't until I got here that I was like, this is what I want to do.
Right. And what do you think is like, what was it here that was just like, yeah, I'm going to stay committed to this? Or what do you feel that we offered? Or, I mean, we know it's a community, the community, the coaches, all that sort of stuff, because we talked about that before. But is that it? Or was it like, something else?
There's definitely something else. It's the... Because I don't know what to do when I get to the gym. You know what I mean? So if I go to a regular big box gym, I don't like that pressure.
You're running in the parking lot, sliding into the glass.
Right. One, if it's raining, no go, big dog. Like, it's not happening. Like, nope, I'm not going to make that same mistake again. No, but it's not knowing what to do when you get there, not feeling comfortable enough to ask for guidance. And then if it's busy, and then I've got this fucking meathead waiting to use the same machine, or I'll just jump in on your sets. Like, no, because like I'm doing 15 pounds, bro. You doing 130. Like, my workout is taking off your fucking weight. Like, but so it's being told what to do here and not having to think about
anything else.
Right. I don't have to worry about like, oh, I got to make sure I get leg day done, or I got to come up with a routine for push muscles, or, you know what I mean? I don't have to worry about any of that. I just know, sign up for class, show up on time.
Yep.
Or you're going to do burpees and just let the coaches tell you what to do. They're going to guide you on everything from, your form to whether you're using a heavy enough weight. It just eliminates a lot of the stressors that I had going to the other gym.
Right. And the guessing, like, okay, yeah, like you said, like, what am I going to do today? Like, what's my schedule? And I think also being somebody that I've done, like, both sides, where I've done the competing, where I've had, like, okay, this is what you're going to do today. You're going to lift this amount of weight. You're going to do this, 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 and this. And you just check, to not having a plan at all, and then to the gym here. And honestly, like I could say, like even like for me, the past year, because I've been doing virtual, it's forced me to have to put together a routine that's based upon like the gym, and then that we do it virtually so that we could do it at home.
Right.
But it's also kept me on track, because there's no way that I would show up to my garage every day at 6 a.m. to do like the same workouts.
Right.
I'd be lazy. I'd be like, okay, let me run on the treadmill for 2 minutes. Let me do some bicep curls. Let me run again for a minute. Let me do some back rows. That's basically what I was doing before.
Right.
And I've seen my better results in the past year than previous years, which is crazy, because I'm like, it's the same workout, but it's the mentality and the fact that, you don't have to think about it. Like the plan's already there, and that's basically what it is, which is kind of cool. So results, physically, mentally, emotionally, all of the above. What have been your results since 2019? Well, did you start in 2000?
I started 2020.
Yes, the beginning of the year.
I reached out to you December 3rd. I don't know why I remember that, but like,
I know, right?
I remember that.
Well, I think that whole year was even like, it's crazy because, we're so connected. One, because we've known each other for so long.
Right.
But even like different like pivotal things that have happened in our lives seem to kind of line up in the same. Like 2019, that was when I got my surgery, my explant surgery.
Right.
The same time frame, which is like crazy.
Yep.
So it was like a big shift in like my life too, like physically also crazy.
I almost didn't come to that first class because you weren't going to be there.
That's crazy.
Because like I remember I reached out to you and you're like, oh, I'm going to have my explant surgery, so I'm not going to be there for a couple of weeks, but you can go, Coach Amanda will be there. And I was like, I don't know Coach Amanda be done.
Like, I'm like, listen, I remember reaching out to her and telling her, hey, listen, my boy's going to be there.
Right.
He's coming.
He's coming.
He's going to be there.
Yep. And sure enough, I walk in, she's like, are you Sandy's friend? I'm like, that's me. That's me. Don't kill me. Like, help. And she honestly, like, had Amanda not been who Amanda is, probably wouldn't have come back.
I know.
But I mean, again, if she weren't who she was, you probably wouldn't have hired her in the first place.
Exactly.
But as far as my results, so going back to Tell the Truth Friday, Sock Check Saturday, because like this all kind of lines up and is like 2019 was a very pivotal year. 2017 was too, but that's for different reasons. But 2019 was the year that, okay, I gotta get me right.
Yeah.
So I remember not being really happy with a lot of things that were going on in my life at the time, and that's kind of where Tell the Truth Friday started. I was like, you know what, I gotta vent. I gotta tell the truth. If I don't like something, I gotta say it, and we're just gonna do it on Friday. So Friday is like, don't ask me how I feel, because I'm gonna tell your ass the truth.
Right?
You may not like it, but Tell the Truth Friday kind of started to pick up steam, and it felt good sharing my truth. It felt good, like, oh, okay, I can talk about how I feel and not care about what the next person says. So fast forward to after my surgery, I started doing the Tell the Truth Fridays, and then June 30th, 2019, the very last day of the 50th Pride anniversary, the Stonewall riots and whatnot, I was like, you know what, fuck it, like, I'm gonna come out. I'm gonna come out, and it's gonna be a Tell the Truth Friday episode, and we're just gonna roll with it. And I did it, and it was like, such a huge relief. But then I go to work the next day, and I was like, it's the same shit. Like nothing changed. Like this is bullshit. Like you mean I've been hiding from this the entire time? Like this is all it was. Yeah. So it felt good, but it was still like that was the biggest piece.
Of course,
because now
it's huge.
It's huge.
Yeah,
but like it's huge, but also not as big of a deal as I thought it was going to be.
Of course.
But that I didn't realize how much that was going to help everything else fall into place. So it was like once I got that off my chest, and like, oh, like y'all don't care, like y'all don't give a fuck. Oh,
free,
solid, free AF. So then that's when I realized, like, okay, that there's nothing holding me back now. There's nothing, if I'm not happy with the way I look, Now I got to do something about that. You know, so what's wrong with the way I look? Well, or what's contributing to why I don't like the way I look? Well, not enough exercise and eating the wrong shit. So let's change that. Started doing that, and then, well, not until I started working out with you guys did I start doing that. And then started losing weight, started getting a lot more comfortable in my skin. And even 2020 was kind of like a trial year, because like
it's a shaky year for
everybody.
Lots of reasons, you know.
You know, so like here I am riding high, like damn, I just came out the closet. Boom, 2020 hits. Sit your ass right there in the living room, big dog. Like I know you just came out the closet, but go ahead and park yourself right in the living room. So I'm like, damn, I can't even live my best life. Like I was done being a hoe in the closet. Like I'm trying to be a hoe in public now.
Now you're locking me down.
Right, I'm like, oh shit, this is not good. But you know, so like when right before COVID hit, you know, I was hitting the stride. We had just gotten to March and going the extra mile, and I had just ran my first 5K with the undercover coaches. Everything was great, and I had lost like 25 pounds, and I was like, this is who I'm supposed to be. Yeah. And then hit that brakes, and I was like, oh shit.
Kidding.
Right. So then it was a sit on the couch and eat and kind of fall back into old habits all the way up until October, and I was like, wait a minute, time out. I am not gonna be paying all this money to come to the gym to be gaining weight.
No way.
Like, no way. I can do this for free.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, what's wrong now? Just my diet. Because clearly it's like my exercise I'm still exercising, not nearly as much as I was when we didn't have COVID. But so I knew I was like, okay, now I really got to get this diet shit under control. On October 3rd or October 10th rather, that's when I was like, you know what, let's really take this to the next level.
That's awesome.
And here we are. And I'm at 258. So I'm 4 pounds away from my lowest ever recorded weight. So
that's great. And you look great too.
Thank you.
You know, I mean, you were telling me about this cool shirt you got on right now.
This polo shirt, old as shit, but like I've worn it like a handful of times because it never fit.
Yeah,
like,
look at you now.
Buttons were looking like a weapon of mass destruction. One false move and that thing, boom, boom, breaking windows and stuff.
So how much weight have you lost? I guess since you started, like, because I know you started up and down. I know with COVID and all that stuff, I think for many people, obviously, it's been highs and lows through that whole time frame. 44 pounds from, I say October was when I really got my stuff together. Yeah. That's
but
pretty
like
awesome.
60 something if you include like from my highest adult weight, which was 326.
Yeah.
So 60 something pounds. You do the math. I'm not good with math.
I know, right? Somewhere around there.
Yeah, so from 326 to 258, whatever that difference is.
That's pretty awesome. And what's your overall goal? Like, where do you want to, or are you just kind of like riding it and just continuing with the same?
My magic number is 220. We'll see how I feel when I get there. You mean like once I hit Wonderland, be like, yeah, this is you know where I want to be, and I just want to maintain, or if it's going to be like, no, I got to end up looking like Coach Jason. I got to be.
But you're tall, so how tall are you?
I'm 6'1.5", 6'1", if my posture's right.
Right. Ooh, I still think that I'm growing. So you know what? So 220 would look good on you.
I think so.
Right. Well, I guess we'll see when we get there.
I mean, I think 255 looks good on me now.
It does. 255 looks good. I mean, you honestly, like looking at you now, like because we see you obviously so often, like you look slim, you know? So I'm sure it's hard for you to hear that because you're like, you probably still see yourself as like the fat boy, you know? For sure. But that's not the case because we see you and you got height on you. I mean, you got all the things going for you.
Thank you. I have gotten a lot more comfortable with my body. Like before, you wouldn't catch me dead without my shirt on. Like, no. Like, we taking shirts off to have sex? No, we're going to cut these lights off first. I mean, it's not happening. It wouldn't happen. Right. No, never. But now it's like, you know, I'm excited to, not excited, but it's like I'm not afraid to take my shirt off now because like.
And you shouldn't, you know what I mean? Because regardless of weight or anything like that, I mean, it just, yes, of course, it's going to make you feel better. Sure, if you weigh a certain number, you have a certain number in your head. But at the same time, it's kind of like you have to look at your overall results and see like where you started and where you are at today and just wear it proud, you know, regardless of what it is, you know, because no matter what, I think there's always going to be something that you want to improve on. Right. Always, you know, no matter how much weight you lose. And it takes time too. Like I've told you, you know, I always tell everybody, like, if you're just, like, if you have weight to lose and you're just starting out, like, give it like 365 days, a year. You have to give yourself a solid year because those first couple of months, they're rocky. You know, it's up and down. You really don't. You're kind of falling into your routine and restructuring your life, your eating habits. But it takes a solid 6 months for you to like understand food,
right?
And understand like, oh, you mean like this food is better than this food, or this bread is better than this food, this one,
right?
Or I should be eating this and that, or eliminating this and trying this. It takes time to understand that, and then the next 6 months is like your body's like on overdrive, and it's doing what it's supposed to be doing. And if you need to lose weight, you will lose weight if you're in a deficit and your body's doing it's science.
Right. It's science. Just follow the science. I am happy because I just hit the 6 month mark from October 10th. So from October 10th to April 10th was my 6 months.
Right.
And that's where I got down to 44 pounds, which I'm ecstatic about. So it's like, if I can emulate that for the next 6 months, that's another 88 pounds. I mean, a total of 88 pounds. I'd be A-okay with that.
Yeah. I mean, that's really good. And now do you see like the shift in like food choices? Like,
Absolutely.
Are you more mindful
1000%.
compared to like if you look back at October? And I'm sure in the beginning, like using an app and things like that, kind of helping you to make wiser choices. I'm sure now you're doing it on your own.
Yeah.
Like you kind of know.
Absolutely.
Or you're questioning things like, oh, what's in that? Or how did you make that? Or things, not being like super annoying like me. But
No, I 1000% am more mindful with my decisions. And while I'm not logging my food as accurately as I was before, like during the challenge, I am still paying attention to what I'm eating. I'm still paying attention to how things are made, and I'm still avoiding, fast food, and I'm still avoiding, the trigger foods. Like I'm not gonna have a donut every time I go to Dunkin' Donuts. I mean, I'm just gonna have my coffee. It's gonna have stevia now, and it's instead of having regular sugar, and instead of having regular cream or milk, it's gonna have almond milk. You know what I mean? So it's like I've been able to make those changes and be happy with them.
Yeah.
Meal prepping is still going on, so like I'm still making my lunches and dinners, and I love it. You know what I mean? Like
it gives you structure.
Yeah, and this is the cleanest I've eaten ever.
That's crazy.
Ever.
That's kind of cool. That's really cool.
Not to be gross, but like regular. Just AF.
Which is even better for your overall, history and what you got going on, because it's not like, I can't say it,
diverticulitis. Right?
Yeah. It's not like that. It doesn't really just, I mean, I guess you're more prone to having it, right? It's not something that just goes away.
No, it doesn't go away.
Right.
So I had part of my large intestine, I had a colectomy. So, which was part of my large intestine removed that was diseased, and then they reattached it with staples, which is good. So I was able to avoid having a colostomy bag, which would have been, it would have been unfortunate, but it would have been my reality.
I know. Yeah, I know some people that have that. Yeah.
So I remember the night before surgery, like I had to drink the magnesium sulfate. Like I don't know what's worse, like drinking it or the after effects, because like if you guys don't know, that stuff is supposed to clear you out for surgery. You know, God, it's like thick. It was like an Epsom salt bath. Like that's what it tasted like. It's so gross.
It's nasty.
So gross. It's like Gatorade, but like.
No, it's not like Gatorade.
Well, like, you know how Gatorade has like kind of like that salty taste to it almost, the sodium. It's like it's got that part of Gatorade, but like way worse. It's so gross. I think I have a video of me from my story of me drinking it that morning. Like,
this is nasty.
I'm not gonna make it to surgery because this is gross.
Yeah, gross. I think we know from just you talking, like your biggest struggle obviously was the food issue, not really the exercise, which seems to be the struggle for most people. Is that the food is. Any tips or like advice for somebody that's starting out that has similar situation and finding it like exercise is cool, I got that, I've got tons of weight to lose, and I need to get my food under control?
Just move. Like, don't say one day, make today your day one. Like you just gotta do it. Like there's just don't think about it. I would recommend you find a gym similar to something like this, or a more boutique style where like someone is telling you exactly what to do, because in reality here at Fit4Lyfe you're getting almost like a personal trainer,
right?
You know what I mean, like
in a group setting.
That's
kind of how we describe it to people.
So you're not going to get that at a regular big box gym. You may get somebody that's willing to tell you how to do this, but no one that's going to come up with a plan for you, or someone that's going to give you an exercise routine every single day that you come to the gym.
Yeah.
You know, you come here and you get that. And then having a group setting, you have people of varying levels of ability and fitness levels, and we're all sweating it out.
Right.
So no one's like looking at the next person like, oh, you know, look at him, he's struggling to do burpees. No, we're all struggling. You know what I mean? Like, it's beautiful to me that that's what's behind that door. Mm-hmm. That's what's waiting for me behind there, is the struggle that everyone is going to go through. And like being able to talk to your coaches the way I talk to some of you guys, you know, like, this fucking sucks. Like, why do you hate us so much?
Right?
You know, like,
who are you mad at?
Right,
why are you making us suffer?
Right.
Damn it.
I need to have a conversation with somebody. Like, tell me who it is.
Who's
Coach.
HR here?
Right. This
Me.
is, all right. Oh, Better Business
Who's your
Bureau.
boss?
Right.
Me.
Right.
I don't know who to ask.
Yelp reviews, Better Business Bureau. Like, I'm reaching out to all of them to say, like, this was a terrible class.
Yeah, we do tell people that's really what it is. Like, you're having like a one-on-one coach in a group setting because you're having somebody lead you, direct you, and granted, they're not next to you the whole time. Always. Sometimes, you know, if it is a smaller class, like you have that coach.
The last 2 classes I've taken have been like that. They've been with Coach Jason.
I know, lucky you. Right up in your face, like telling you. But that's what you need. I mean, that's what you're here for. Like, you're here for somebody to push you and to motivate you and to drive you. And let me tell you, just from personal experience, to have that one-on-one attention, I mean, you're talking about big money for one session.
Right.
People are like sometimes shocked because we do offer one-on-one sessions here at the gym. It just depends on, you know, what people are looking for. And a lot of times too, we'll get people that are super, like, they'll tell us, listen, I'm very like introverted, like I don't like the group setting, I don't like to be around, and then, you know, I'm afraid I'm not going to be able to lift the weights that I want to lift, I need a lot of direction, I've never worked out in my life. And I'll always tell them, like, try one class.
Right.
Like, because you think that it's like, I think people think that it's like an aerobics class, like you're like 1, 2, step up, high, knee up, punch right, punch left, but that's not what it is.
You can do it.
Yeah, that's not what it is. It's totally different than that.
Right.
So I always tell them, try the one class, and then you can decide from there, because the price point difference is one completely different. But of course, listen, if you want one-on-one sessions, you get those one-on-one sessions, and you get your coach all to yourself, and that's a great thing. But at the same time, like, the group settings are sometimes exactly what you need, and you don't know until you try.
Right.
So you give it a go.
And you know, even still, like, every day is different from the next. So like, I don't even think one class is enough to really get a feel for like what the gym really does offer. Because like, you make, again, like, every routine is different, but the structure for the most part of every day is the same. You know, Tabata is going to be on Tuesdays.
Right.
You know, Wednesday's going to be weights up. It's going to be a little heavier.
Right.
You know, Thursday's going to be triple threat, so your whole body going to hurt. Like,
you know, you're getting 3 somewhere in there.
Right. And Friday's Flex Friday, or, you know, or a Friday hustle. So like,
and Saturday's just going to be savage. So bring
super savage Saturday.
So just bring your extra water and your extra towel and be prepared.
Be prepared. Be prepared. What for? Anything.
You don't know. You don't know.
You gotta be like a Swiss Army knife when you come here on Saturday. You gotta be prepared for everything.
Exactly.
Like, Sandy's gonna throw the tire at you.
If I could do that, you better run. There's lots of caffeine in that coffee that I drank in the morning.
I love it.
But that's pretty much it. Well, I mean, anything else you got? You want to tell us? Share about your life? Who are you?
Who am I? I'm single. And I'm looking for money.
Single, ready to mingle, I'm looking for money.
Yeah.
Because you never...
That's the inside joke. I'm not really looking for money.
Right.
I'm looking to make my own money, but like also...
Right?
You got money.
It's seriously, it's solid. It's an inside joke. Don't you guys be like...
Don't worry. Y'all will never see the 10 minutes, 20 minutes happen before we hit record. That's for us only.
I know. It's all fun times.
Yeah.
All fun times. But,
all bloopers.
Yeah, but we're here, you know, to finish April 20th. We got one more. We got, how many days are in this month? Is it 30? 31? I don't know.
January, February, March, April, 30.
30. We got 10 more days of burpees.
Yes.
10 more days of April burpees. This well, I guess by the time you guys hear this anyways, it's going to be past that. But we have the 5K that we're doing on Sunday. So that's
super excited
cool.
for that.
Yeah.
I am really excited for that one.
That's cool. You know, and it's always cool because, you know, hopefully we can rally up the troops and get people to just walk, run, you know, power walk, skate, bike. Crawl.
Even if you want to come out and just meet us halfway, hand out water, like, just come support.
That's cool.
Play music, ride your bike. Like, do it like Coach Amanda did. She just like, you keep going.
I'll play my music and you are good to go. Yeah, so that's...
I felt like I was being chased, though. I'm not gonna lie. Maybe that's not a good idea.
So we got that, finishing up episode 10. We got 2 more episodes in our first season 1. And then you guys are never going to see us again. Just kidding.
I was going to say, that's a terrible way to find that out. Like, she just made that executive decision on the spot. Hey, we've been friends for a really long time, but we ended a relationship right now.
Just kidding. We're deciding on what's next, right? Season 2?
Season 2. Season 2 is definitely coming.
Yes,
it's
for
just,
sure.
We might shake things up a little bit.
Yeah, for sure. But looking forward to May, Murph. Pull-ups. Push-ups, squats, and running all month long.
Ooh, she just said 4 things that I am not a fan of. You could have said burpees, and I'd be like, all right, cool. Like I just did April.
I know. April's preparing you for.
But is it though? Because like we ain't doing no burpees in May. I mean, we gonna be doing burpees in May. I know, but like that's not. You said pull-ups, push-ups, sit-ups, and running.
Yeah.
You don't do none of those in burpees. Like,
I mean, you got squats to get down to your burpees. Come on, man.
Maybe.
Kinda.
I'm nowhere near. I'm nowhere near my goal that I set for this month.
How many did you do today?
15.
Okay.
But like,
a little bit more.
Just a little bit more.
A little bit more effort in between those stations.
Yeah.
Listen, we're tired. I get it because the other day I was here on Sunday and I worked out and that shit was rough.
Mm-hmm. I saw you hit 1K.
Yes, hit 1K, but if you notice, it hasn't moved since then, since Sunday.
That's fine. I looked at Jason's number and I was like, you know what? He added a couple zeros to his number. I don't know if you saw the board.
Oh, yeah.
Jason's at 16,000 burpees right now.
Sure.
You're right. I'm like, cool. As long as I'm beating him, I'm comfortable.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not competing for the number 1 spot. Christy and SB and Derek.
Derek is, way up there.
I hope y'all can write that check and hoping it doesn't bounce.
Me too.
For that burpee.
Thanks for the reminder.
I'm sorry.
All right, guys. So that is it. So we are checking out.
You're checking out.
Peace out, guys. It's been real and fun. See you next time.
Bye.